What's up, everybody? This is Brad, and right now, Fortnite is down. We are between seasons and on our way to the other side of the island. And since there's nothing to play right now for Fortnite, game is down, so I thought it would be a good time to do this little video. And that is, we're heading into Chapter 3, so we're sure to see more collabs, and I've got a few that I would like to see at some point over the next chapter. So let's jump right into things and start off with one. These are in alphabetical order, but these aren't really, because that was just the easiest way to set this up. And there's no real preference here. It's just some collabs I would like to see. But anyway, let's start off with one that is a very interesting case of a crossover for Fortnite. This happened on a Netflix show where Jonesy actually appeared. Agent Jones appeared in a Netflix cartoon. And it was definitely him because it looks like him. They don't specify really what organization he works for other than he is a friend of British intelligence, so he would have to be quite powerful. But they address him as Jonesy by name. And given his design, given the name, it can't be a coincidence that that is who it's supposed to be. Granted, he has a British accent in that one, but man, I think that was his first actual speaking appearance, but whatever. Anyway, based off of that little appearance in this particular show, I think that we should see Carmen Sandiego as one of our crossovers, because it makes sense if Carmen already, or these people within this particular universe, have contact with Jonesy and the Imagined Order, or maybe less that, but I don't know. But anyway, Jonesy's in Carmen Sandiego. Now, the question for me would be, would they use her more modern design, or would they go with the classic Carmen, the one that was a villain? I think in the Netflix cartoon, she is more of a... I don't know. It seems like they've turned her into either an anti-hero. I haven't watched it. They probably really should. But it seems more like she's reformed. More like she chases and tries to protect rare treasures now instead of steal them. But I don't know. I have really no idea. I haven't seen the Carmen cartoon. It looks really good. And because I used to be a big fan of the old, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego little game show that used to run. And that was years ago. If any of you who watch this remember the Chief. And then they did a spin-off or a follow-up series of that called Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. That was kind of fun, but it wasn't bad. It was just different. And then there was a Carmen cartoon. I had a Carmen video game, but that was on the computer. That was really fun too. Anyway, don't want to spend too much time rambling on about each individual character, but yeah. If Jonesy can be in her cartoon, then I think she should be a skin in the game. Next up, we're going with video game characters. And this guy seems to be pretty popular. I don't really know much about his game series, but I've played a game or two with him in it. Specifically Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And there was the opening trailer for that game features this character fighting Deadpool, who is already in the game. So, well, we could always use more video game characters, and especially because he uses guns, that works even better. I'm thinking Dante should be in this game. You could obviously make his big sword, his back bling, that would be really cool, and that could be his pickaxe too. Again, anytime you have a sword as a part of a character, that needs to be their weapon to use as a pickaxe. Like, that was a missed opportunity for a couple of skins. They've been doing better about that. A lot of recent characters that have had swords have used them as their pickaxe. So that's good. But yeah, again, I don't really know much about Dante, but he does have a really cool look. Playing him in Marvel vs. Capcom is really fun. And again, like the video game series needs more people. And considering that a lot of the video game characters we've had in there aren't really gunslingers, specifically talking about like the Street Fighter reps, there's 4 of them. And that just is like Kratos. I mean, come on. Like, Kratos is great and all, but he doesn't shoot guns. At least Master Chief has a gun. At least Lara Croft uses guns. Come on. But I know that really doesn't matter for this game, because the characters you play as you're not really them. But anyway. Yeah, let's put Dante in this thing. Next character is an interesting one, because I think you could do several of these. I think they would be very popular. And because they would appeal to kids, but they would also appeal to adults too, because this franchise has been around for a long time. And even though I picked one particular representative here, I think you could just go through a whole lot of them. And let's just go ahead and reveal them. I think we should see the Power Rangers in Fortnite. And it works because, think about it. Here, of course, I think the Green Ranger is one of the most iconic Rangers, given that he was originally an evil Ranger turned good. And you see the Green Ranger still back. He comes back all the time, even in this form. Even if it's not the Green Ranger form and it's a different one, the guy who plays him is always like, he's like the longest tenured part of the entire series. But if it were up to me, I put every one of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the game. But if you could only have one, I guess Green Ranger would be a good one, maybe the Red Ranger. But what I'm thinking for Green Ranger is, one, of course, his dagger could be a pickaxe. At least I don't know about some seasons, but I do know the original one. If you can look here, he's got a gun holster. That's for their lasers, because they all used to get a laser and their own weapon. I think maybe the laser originally transformed into a sword. I'm not entirely sure about that. But anyway. Yeah, this would be a good idea for me. And you could have him a built-in emote that, if it's not them as their base forms, as their regular non-playable forms, which I don't think that would be the greatest idea, but if it was that you could play as their human forms, you could do a built-in emote of them morphing into their Ranger forms. Or if it's just the Ranger forms, you could have the Green Ranger's built-in emote be him playing his flute and playing the tune that summons the Dragon Zord. That would be a really cool thing to have in the game. Sort of like how when the Street Fighter characters do their signature moves, and you hear them actually, say their attack or whatever, and you hear their theme music play for just a second. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to have that in there. But yeah, like imagine like a Lord Zed skin in this game. That'd be crazy. But yeah, let's get some Power Rangers in here. Next game, more video game characters here. Now this one would be a little bit different. I'm not sure how that would work with their proportions, but they probably could make it work. There's some wonky looking characters. I mean, Rick and Morty are in this game. But yeah, again, wanting to expand that video game series of skins here and actually have it be somebody who uses guns, I think we should see Jak and Daxter. Jak, I think, is a underappreciated series to some extent. And I don't know how you could work Daxter into the skin other than maybe just have him sit on Jak's shoulder. Or you could make him a back bling pet somehow. I don't know how you would do that. But if you were to put Jak in, you'd have to have Daxter be part of him somehow. Either as a back bling pet in some way, or just have him just as a part of Jak's costume where he animates as a where he animates somehow. I don't know how you would do that, but I don't know. But yeah, I think Jak deserves to be in the game. I would have loved to have seen Jak in Smash Brothers too, but that's for a different video. But anyway, let's move on. Now this is one that I'm kind of surprised they didn't do. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but I half expected them to do this last year. And this also goes back to the reason I wanted to play Fortnite in the beginning. And I've already mentioned him once in this video. But when Deadpool got added to Fortnite as the secret skin of Chapter 2 Season 2, and I'm fairly new to Fortnite, but I noticed that a lot of the skins had male and female counterparts. So like, and this wasn't there at the time, but eventually you had like say Midas and Marigold, and there are others like that where there's one is the female, one is the male. They appear to be the same kind of character, but just like alternate universe versions of each other. And there's a lot of skins like that. Or the way they describe snapshots or whatever. Like there's 5 different versions of Batman in the game now, if you count the Batman Who Laughs. But I think, and I'm surprised they did not put Lady Deadpool as the female counterpart for Deadpool. Now you kind of got that because they made a Cuddlepool skin, which almost looks exactly like this from the neck down. But it's Cuddlepool. It's Cuddle Team Leader still. It's just with Deadpool colors. But I think if Epic and Marvel were to work together and do a Lady Deadpool skin, you could fix the problem that people were upset about with the katanas. Make them very similar to the original Deadpool katana back bling, but let you have the opportunity to equip them to, or to use those katanas as harvesting tools. Deathstroke got those when they added him to the game. And you could have this be a part of the overall Deadpool series so that it's okay to mix and match. Like, if you wanted to, say, give her the original Deadpool katana back bling, which a lot of people still use, and then give Deadpool her actual katanas, or the ones that are released with her that allow you to pull them out as a harvesting tool, then you can. And maybe give her a few emotes that are unique to her, or something. Just, you could mix and match with them. That's what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, I would love to see a Lady Deadpool skin. I think it'd be cool. Moving on, because we're running out of time. There's not really any need to really hide this one too much, because we thought he was coming into the game, and it turned out it was just somebody at Epic trolling. But, ever since everyone thought this was going to be something that was going to happen eventually, I've said I want to see it happen, and I'm not going to give up. I want Peter Griffin in this game. I want to see Peter in the game. I want him in the game with a built-in emote of him doing the bird is a word, and I just butchered that, but you know, bird is a word. Haven't you heard that bird is a word? Okay, I'm done. But yeah, like ever since that was a thing, I want it to happen. I want it to be real. Sorry if that annoys you, be annoyed. I want Peter in this game. And since Fortnite, by the way, Disney owns Family Guy now, so they would be the ones to go to for this, and Seth MacFarlane probably. But they already have Marvel and Star Wars characters in the game, so I don't see why Disney would be too mad to do this. But moving on. Now this is a character that is no stranger to crossovers, and has appeared in Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur as a guest character. And I think has even had a few comics where he's had a run-in with the Justice League. So, and I think he uses guns too. So hey, we're ticking all the boxes. I say put Spawn in the game. You know, we've got a lot of DC and a lot of Marvel characters in the game. Well, Spawn is neither. So I think it would be cool to have him in there. Maybe have and because his cape, from the little I understand about Spawn, his cape can actually become any weapon he really wants. So you could give him an axe, you could give him a big axe, a sword, whatever it is that you think would need. Chains, I think, is another one of his weapons. So you could make him very customizable. But I think him with his big cape, the big flowing, torn up, tattered cape, that would be really cool, man. So a Spawn skin, especially considering that he has crossed over, and I think he's met Batman, even just counting Mortal Kombat, where RoboCop, the Terminator, the T-800's already in Fortnite, the Joker's already in Fortnite. So yeah, there are characters already in Fortnite that Spawn has met. So let's bring him over. And of course, I talked about Soul Calibur. That was a pretty interesting one. Moving on. Naruto was the first anime collab we had in this game. And as cool as it is and as cool as those skins look, I mean, I love the Kakashi skin. He looks amazing. The other skins look good too. Naruto, I think, is the second best, but they nailed Kakashi, man. They got him just right. Um, but I still think it's kind of weird that the first Fortnite anime collab was not with a character who uses a gun. Again, that's something that I just thought was weird. So we need more anime skins, and I think that those are definitely going to happen. But I think they need to be gunslingers. And given that this is everyone's kind of talking about, and some people are dunking on the Netflix, going back to Netflix again, Cowboy Bebop series, I think you got to put in anime Spike Spiegel. Like, dude, it's Spike. Everybody loves Spike. And like, I don't know, like, this would be a really popular collab if you wanted to, and I would certainly do it. If you could get Spike, I'd go ahead and get Faye and Jet too. I don't think I'd get Ed, because Ed's a kid and Ed's the hacker. I don't remember Ed at all in the series using a gun or wanting to commit violence, not like that. So maybe not put Ed, but you could maybe put Vicious in. Or what's that dude from the Vincent, I think is his name, from the Cowboy Bebop movie? Could put him in there too. And there are some other side characters, maybe, if you really wanted to go that far. Cowboy Andy was a fun one. But yeah, at the very least, put the crew, the Bebop, maybe except minus Ed in the game. Might make Ein a backbling pet. The Data Dog. I think people would love Ein in the game. So that would be really cool. And it would give us a gunslinger anime character. Next up, going back to the video game series. And again, another character that has had crossover moments before. And that is the big thing for me. I don't know. He doesn't really fit the gunslinger thing, though, like Dante and Jack would. But he's another character who's been in Marvel vs. Capcom, and he's been in several of those games. So I would love to see Strider in the game. Strider Hiryu. So, it's not Hiryu, is it? Now I'm doubting my pronunciation of his name. Give me a second. Yeah. Because his name is spelled, in English, his name is spelled Hiryu, so it should be Hiryu, if I'm not mistaken. Because the I is always, in Japanese, the I's are always pronounced E. It's like Yuki, Yumi, so it would be Hiryu. I think so. I'm not the most knowledgeable on that kind of thing. And also, I kind of got to apologize for the little bit of a lower quality render here that I used. But anyway, yeah. I did buy this the Strider game for like $3 not that long ago. I really need to play that. That would be cool. But yeah, I've always liked Strider as a design. He's a really cool character, and since there's a lot of characters again in Fortnite that he's already fought against in Marvel vs. Capcom. I just think that would be a really cool character, and he's got like I said, a cool design. I think he'd fit right in. And this should be the last one. Going back again to the anime collabs and how we need more gunslingers. This one is interesting though, and I realized that you really couldn't have her in the game without having to alter her outfit a little bit. But they kind of solved that problem with Cammy, and to a lesser extent Jinx when they added her to the game, because I think they used an updated version of Jinx that covered her up a little bit more. And of course they gave Cammy tights under her leotard so that her bootay was not just hanging out. But I really would like to see Yoko Littner in the game. I think she's a fun character, love her design. The big sniper gun. Like, if you're gonna have a season that's heavy with sniper rifles, like, this would be the perfect time. And plus, Gurren Lagann is one of my favorite animes. I mean, it's a great anime, great music, great animation, and just the overall story about, in the show, humanity starts out underneath the ground. And a small group of people decide that, nope, we're going to break through, we're going to go to the surface. They get to the surface and they're told you got to go back down, but they refuse to. Then they're like, no, we're not going to go down. We're going to keep going higher. And eventually they end up in a fight with alien deities that become reality, that basically break reality. They go and literally pierce the heavens to fight these deities who are trying to keep the people down and say, like, no, we are better than you. And like, no, you can't tell us what to do. We will go as high as we want to go and even higher. So, again, Gurren Lagann, one of my top anime ever. Yoko, fun character. Yes, you'd have to cover up a little bit more, but this is a problem they've already figured out how to deal with. All you got to do is make her top a little bit more, a little bit less there, a little bit less not as there. Reverse that. And you got like, she's got a little scarf and everything. The long red hair. Like, I want to see more anime characters generally. And there are plenty more characters that I think would fit just as well, maybe even more so than these. But these are the main 10, I think, that would be really fun to see from me. But what do you guys think? Who do you want to see in this game? There's plenty. I mean, there's sure to be a ton of characters. Even if not a single one of these I listed end up in the game, you're going to see a lot. The collabs are only going to keep coming. So, who you got? Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see added to Fortnite in Chapter 3. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff. Go check out my other videos. And Chapter 3 is right around the corner. Until time to jump into the next chapter, we will see you later.